Is anybody else having as much fun as I am in the aftermath of this French thing? Not in regards to the horrific bloodbath in Paris, no, I'm talking about the stupidity that instantly rears its head on Twitter. And I'd like to just highlight a couple tweets from a couple fat morons. God. Oh God almighty, I woke up this morning and it was just rolling. It was laughing out loud for realsy. First, let me just take you through the abortion that the amazing atheist tweeted out. Now, he had many idiotic tweets. Let's start with one of the lesser idiotic ones. Still idiotic. Still needs to be shamed. He says, it's not about holding innocent Muslims to account for what bad Muslims do. It's about criticizing Islamic belief. Now, the guy says that, and then watch the tweets he comes up with later. So you think right now he understands that we're not blaming innocent Muslims for what, quote, bad Muslims do. And then he says it's about criticizing Islamic belief. And so many people parrot this. And it is a cop-out and it is weak bullshit. If a bunch of rapists went into Paris last night and raped 153 people, how maniacally stupid would it be and dishonest would it be for me to jump onto Twitter and say, it's not about blaming those rapists, it's about criticizing the institution of rape, the idea of rape. And if any of you mouth-breathing idiots out there are under the impression that I am saying Muslims are rapists, that is not the analogy. Let me hold your hand through the analogy. Avoiding condemning Muslims in lieu of saying, no, I'm simply criticizing Islam, and that's my focus, is the same as avoiding condemning rapists in lieu of saying, I'm here to only criticize the idea of rape. If you don't understand that, I don't want you on my channel. Leave now. Throw your computer away. Take it to a bridge, throw it away. Tell your significant other that I told you to do that. So already we detect weakness in the amazing atheist. Well, you detected weakness in him when you saw his silhouette coming over the horizon. When the Michelin Man is walking towards you, exhibiting with every fat step of his waddle that he has no willpower, no ability to control himself, zero strength. You just might be dealing with a regressive. Regressivism is weakness. It's based in weakness. It bathes in weakness. And what is weakness in this context? When you see a massacre in Paris, what does a strong person do? Now, you could call this alpha and beta. You can call this liberal versus regressive. You can call this sane versus insane. But a strong person, somebody who is not fearful and weak, would address the massacre. You'd address the people that did the massacre. A weakling bitch would address not the massacre, would deflect and talk about other things. Now, the most raw way you can get to this, the most obvious, simple way for you to see this, is when I say, fuck those Muslims that did that last night. And what does the regressive say? What about the Muslims that didn't do it? Let's talk about people that did not do that massacre. That's what they want to talk about. They avoid it. They turn, just an about face. Avoid that conflict. Oh shit. That's why you have pacifism. This just raging, naive, idiotic pacifism coming out of that movement, of that side. Because they love that. Oh yeah. I don't have to deal with like nasty, unsightly things in this world. I can just pretend they don't exist. It's just a PR problem. If you have a problem, just think of another thing. You know, let's say you got a raccoon in the kitchen. You hear him. He's fucking up all the dishes. Well, let's go hang out in the living room. Let's go to the bathroom. Not all rooms have wild raccoons in them. That's what you want to focus on. I want to go deal with the raccoon in the kitchen. Okay, so then he gets onto another blindingly stupid, just unfathomably stupid point. First of all, here's this one. The Amazing Atheist. My advice to Paris. Yeah, Paris. Paris was wondering what a fat, obese high school dropout has to say to them. What should we do? I don't know. Je ne sais pas. Oui, comment est-ce qu'on dit? J'ai peur, non? J'ai peur. Je ne sais pas. Ouais? Ouais. Ouais? Ouais. Aidez-moi. Aidez-moi. Ouais. Monsieur TJ, j'ai une question pour vous. Pour toi ou pour vous? Monsieur TJ, non? Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que vous voulez nous dire? Disez-moi. Parlez. Fermez la bouche. Fermez la bouche. Tais-toi. Vous êtes merde. Yeah, so what was the advice again? Do not hand over all your civil liberties out of blind fear. Learn from America's mistakes in the aftermath of 9/11. What mistakes, TJ? What mistake? The Patriot Act? Oh my god, look at where the guy's attention is. Hey, Paris, you just got raped. You just got murdered. Your citizens are lying dead in the street. Don't fuck up. I'm watching you because I have self-hatred. Now, it's weird because I sort of self-hate America. That's my thing. I don't want to talk about the Muslim terrorists. I want to talk about how dare you fucking create the Patriot Act. But I'm just saying, for you French regressives, you should start to fear and hate yourself now. Cue the self-hatred. And then we get this. And this is in the immediate aftermath of one of the worst bloodbaths in modern history. A ghastly horror show of needless violence and death. And TJ the amazing shit. And TJ the button penis freak comes in with 3,200 people died in car crashes today. And 3,200 will die in car crashes tomorrow. Just to put things in perspective. Oh, I see, TJ. So now it's not a problem that hundreds of people were murdered in Paris last night. So until we can figure out how to stop car crashes, we shouldn't give a fuck about anything. Is that the logic? It's not two wrongs make a right. It's, hey, I know something happened in Paris. It might be wrong. I'm sort of uncomfortable criticizing that. Car crashes, okay? End of discussion. Need I say more? Hey, you guys trying to cure cancer over there? Yeah, stop. Yeah, just don't even bother. We got car crashes tomorrow, you know? So, Anyway, gotta get back to eating myself to death. Okay, catch you guys later. TJ, you are absolutely fucking retarded. And no offense to retarded people. Yes, and the difference is, one of those things is unavoidable and accidental, the other is not. The other should be avoidable and is not accidental. It is cold-blooded murder. That is why it is more alarming than your stat about accidental car crashes. So long as we're willing to accept the fact that cars and the fact that we want to drive around places because of the positive effect of that comes with a certain amount of risk and an acknowledgement that there will be car crashes. Yes, we understand that. But it's not 3,200 acts of human evil, killing people in cold blood, innocent human beings. Do you see the difference? Do I need to explain that to you more? And then he left us with this gem. Okay, try to stay with me. I mean, oh my god. This guy has 71.8 thousand followers. And he felt it wise to tweet this out. Not all Muslims are terrorists.
Not all.
Oh, really, Jenk? Oh, see, oh my god, did you hear that? A Freudian slip by me, because it's indistinguishable from Jenk. They are both massive regressives, and I mean that in every way. Not all.
Not all.
This is the not all brigade. He's come out and he's going to tell us not all. He's going to take the focus from the Muslims that did this, and not just this, the ones that did Hebdo, the ones that are in Boko Haram, ISIS, the problematic Muslims, which we all know is a subset of the entire Muslim population. He doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to talk about the other ones that were eating sandwiches and just raising their kids and stuffing kebab in their face. That suits him.
I should cock slap you
Not all.
with my Asian penis.
Oh, hey everybody, listen to me. I got a message for you. Listen to this. Not all Muslims are terrorists. But it doesn't stop there. It goes on. Not all men are rapists.
Not all.
TJ, come close to me now. Come here. Come here. Okay. I am older and wiser than you. Now listen. Now accept that. Now listen to me. Who the fuck thinks all men are rapists? Or that all Muslims are terrorists? TJ, why did you say it? What the fuck is the point of you saying that? It goes on. Not all gun owners are murderers. Thanks, TJ. Thank you for that fucking A, dude. You are brilliant. And, oh, here's a gem. He throws the white guilt at the end. Not all blacks are criminals.
Can a nigger get a cracker?
TJ. Who thinks all blacks are criminals? Who thinks any of those things? Why did you say that? Why? And it's so precious. If we're talking about criminality in the black community, we're talking about the black criminals. These guys in the graph, not the other guys who aren't in this graph, the criminals who are black, who make up the vast majority of crime in the country. Per capita, it's not close. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. When we're talking about gun owners, the ones we have a problem with are the murderers. The ones that use the guns to kill people. Obviously. When we're talking about men who rape, and we are saying, oh God, that's a problem, there's some rape going on. We're talking about the men who rape, not the men who don't rape. And finally, just to wrap up this friggin' shit package, when we're talking about terrorists who are Muslim, who account for 99% of the deaths caused by terrorism, 99% around the world, we are talking about the Muslims who are the terrorists, not the Muslims who are not. Unless we're talking about the Muslims who are not the terrorists, but who support the terrorists. And unless we're talking about the Muslims who are not supporting the terrorists, but support Sharia, and support a pedophile warlord. There's a lot of condemnation to have on that spectrum. Oh God, I forgot he did this one. Here we go. This is a mixture of white guilt with defend the Muslims, with avoid the problem. Watch this. Timothy McVeigh was Muslim? ? He brings up a bombing from an individual white guy from the 90s. What the fuck? So he sees a massacre in Paris. He wants to talk about Timothy McVeigh. Now that is, you don't come back from that. That wraps up who you are as an individual. He needs to go on a world tour and apologize for that tweet. That is so mind-blowingly shameful for him to equate Timothy McVeigh with Muslim terrorism. Oh my God. Oh, it is painful. Oh, but it doesn't stop. We're not done with that. Let's throw another white guy under the bus. Anders Breivik was Muslim? Oh, keep in mind, you guys, you got hundreds of millions of Islamists and jihadists around the world. Oh, you do. But what about Timothy McVeigh and Anders Breivik? Nobody liked them, right? They killed people. So I guess we should factor them in. I guess a massacre in Paris, that necessitates that we talk about Anders Breivik and Timothy McVeigh. No, not all terrorists are Muslim either. Thanks. Thank you, TJ. It's only 99%. 99% of deaths caused by terrorism come from Muslims. That's it. That's all. And remind me the logic of this statement. Okay, so are you implying that anybody is in favor of Timothy McVeigh or Anders Breivik? Is anybody on the planet in favor of that? Is there a single human that realizes that it's not 100% Muslims that commit acts of terror? Oh, it's 99. It's 99%. 99%. Okay, take Timothy McVeigh, take Anders Breivik. Those are the two worst examples you could come up with of non-Muslims committing acts of terror. Let's throw those people into the calculation. Timothy McVeigh was in 1995. Starting in 1995, let's count up every terrorist act. And then let's count up the death count of those acts. And you do a video on the results of how many of those attacks were by Muslims and how many were by rednecks, white people. And then, seeing those numbers, seeing that graph, visualize it. Just imagine what that graph looks like. And then contemplate just how bafflingly absurd it is for him to bring up Timothy McVeigh and Anders Breivik in the immediate aftermath of another Muslim terrorist attack. Shame on you, fat man. You are a regressive weakling. Pure and simple. We're done here. Now go talk about me some more.
I should cock slap you with my Asian penis.